Yes, people, welcome to another edition of From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. I'm joined by one of my fellow co-hosts, Mr. I've seen more in the night than you've seen in your life, aka Stato, aka Bloodstroke, aka Stro. Stro, were you telling me first and foremost, you good?
I'm blessed. Loving life. Beautiful morning. Beautiful weather outside. Beautiful news this morning. We'll touch on that. I'm good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We're going to touch on all that. And yes, JV should be back next week, but love to our brother JV. He is all good, everybody. Don't worry about it. We haven't fell out. We haven't broken up the Beatles. We're just handling business.
We've not had the same situation that the Joe Budden podcast has had. We all good.
we all good. JV wasn't offering nobody his hands in it. But that being said, if JV did offer me his hands, I'm not showing back up. I don't want them problems.
I've seen that firsthand. I ain't showing up.
That's brilliant. That there's no Joe Budden, Rory, and Mal problems. No, but JV will be back. Love to everybody who is locked in already. I can see from the comment Bradley, who just came over from Saeed TV. He says, big up the panel. First time watching the show. So if you're a first time watcher, first time listener like Bradley, what From a Third Eye View is myself, Stro, and when JV is here discussing all things Premier League. So we don't just touch on Manchester United. We don't just touch on Liverpool or just the top six. We literally speak about every single club and all the biggest topics from the weekend. Big up Zane, who's also in the cut. Zane AFC, who says, big up my broskies. Love to you lot. So if you're watching on YouTube, you already know what to do. Whether you're new or you're a regular, hit the like button on your way in. And make sure you share it across all the socials. Important you do that. Please get these numbers up. Share it across all the socials and subscribe to the channel. And when you make sure you subscribe to Pi Radio, you do hit the notification bell. Because we go live every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. We are here talking all things Premier League. And if you're listening via DAB radio or more traditional radio means, we appreciate it. We really, really do. But okay, what we're going to do since it's the international break is we're going to actually rate every Premier League side season so far on a scale of 0 to 10, and also what they need in the Premier League also. So, Stro, do you want to start at the top of the league or do you want to start at the bottom of the league?
Start at the top.
We'll start at the top of the league. Yeah. Okay, so Manchester City. And when we do this, are we going to include European and domestic competitions, or do you just want to do it on solely the Premier League? Or are we doing it overall?
With some clubs that are in Europe, obviously, we can do overall. Obviously, the likes of Burnley and places like that, obviously, you're not going to be in Europe.
I was waiting for you to take a Burnley shot. You're always taking shots at Burnley, all the time, unnecessarily. So, yeah, we will start at the top of the table. I'm going to start with Manchester City, who are going to win the league, even though they can still mathematically be caught. I said the league was done from I was saying the end of January. People was I was saying the league was done. I thought nobody would catch them, and it wasn't going to happen. But here we are. So, yeah, Manchester City, and we'll start. So I'll let you give us your rating and why. So on a scale of 0 to 10, what are you rating Manchester City's season so far?
A 9.
Okay, go on. Why 9?
It's probably a bit higher than what I first anticipated, but it's Manchester City, like I said on Saeed's show, they started slow. Didn't have a great start, got beat heavily by Leicester at home.
Yeah.
Weren't in great form. And then you just suddenly seen a Diaz-Stones partnership just appear out of nowhere.
Yep.
And this is what I was saying about Manchester United on Saeed's show, is when you have a partnership that two people that complement each other, Laporte is by far the better centre-back than Stones. But he doesn't complement Diaz in that way, which is why you then see a resurgence in John Stones. And they weren't top at Christmas. Liverpool were, but Liverpool's injuries just caught up to him and it just became a mess. And you can't win titles with that amount of injuries.
Yeah.
Manchester City capitalised and they've run away with it. It's not been convincing, but they've done their job. And this is why I'm critical of Manchester United, because United were in a position where this could have been them. They've done the job. And you can't really fault them. They've been excellent since December. Unbelievable run. Another ridiculous run from Pep Guardiola and his team. And they're looking to kick on. They've got Dortmund in the Champions League quarter-final. Now, that's going to be interesting.
Very interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
So, if we're just talking league form, it's a 9 from me, 100%.
Okay. So you're saying league form. I'm saying overall, to me, and we're tying in Champions League, they're in all 4 competitions. They're in the running. I can't rate it anything bar a 10, simply because they ran away with the league. They're in the final of the Carabao Cup. They're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And they're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. There isn't anything else you could have asked for. The 4 competitions you've entered, you've pretty much won one in terms of the Premier League. You're in the final of the other. You're in the semi-final of the other and the quarterfinal of the other. Barely losing a game at times. They went 21. I think they went 20, they won 21 games in a row, but even their undefeated streak was longer than that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, to me, it's a 10. I can't, as much as it pains me to admit, it's a 10. Literally, pretty much a faultless season. Yes, you have your Leicester. Obviously, it's ironic they play Leicester in the next game, but you have those type of, the game they lost 5-2. Maybe a black mark, but then you can just put that down to as a blip, because you can lose 5-2 and then you win 21 games in a row. And like I said, to me, the season was done in January. I was saying the league was over. And they're literally fighting on all fronts. Do I believe they'll win the quadruple? No. But the fact that they're in with a legitimate chance of it is credit to Pep.
Yeah, it's testament
and City.
to them.
That's testament to them. Because they are in legitimate, like, people, it's a question. The fact it's a question is how good they are. Do I believe they will win the quad? No. But maybe that's my Manchester United bias also. Go on, straight.
Nah, but the reason why it's not a 10 for me is because we've sat on here and we debated last season, one, how bad their title defence was in terms of the egotistical approach that Pep took in terms of not replacing a centre-back, and not just any centre-back, Company, who is your leader in the dressing room. You need a leader type. Diaz is that leader type, and you can see that the influence he has on John Stones next to him. You see him, how he's talking him through a game, the leadership aspect of it. Yeah. But then he also lost Arteta as well, so that's what obviously was going to have an impact in terms of his finger. The reason it's not a 10 for me is because you've not... I'm just trying to think how I can word this. You've not gone out and you've not took it. Do you know what I mean? It's a case of Liverpool have fell on the hurdles of injuries and they've just completely capitulated.
Yeah.
Manchester United had a legitimate chance of winning this title this season. Let's not get that mistaken. They had a legitimate chance.
I agree.
And that falls on Solskjaer and that falls on Manchester United.
Yeah.
It's like I said, City just coasted till Christmas, went under the radar, and then they clicked into form.
Right.
And that's why it's not a 10 for me. If they'd have done that from the beginning of the season, it's definitely a 10.
Right.
Like you said, they're in an unbelievable position with regards to the quadruple, whether they will do it or not.
Yeah. The fact that it's a question again.
Yeah, but how many times have they been in this position? So at one point, they're going to have to strike gold. And that's what you just don't know.
Here's what we'll say then. It's mad, but here's, again, testament to how good Manchester City are in the bar that they're at. If they only win the Premier League this season, it could be classed as not underwhelming, but...
It's underwhelming. It is underwhelming.
Like, but that's crazy. All right, so let's go with you.
No, I'm talking just given the position that they're in.
And that's my point.
If they just win the Premier League, that's underwhelming.
The fact that if you ask a City fan, a Liverpool fan, a United fan, right, if you just win the Premier League, this obviously context, this is why context matters. You just win the Premier League this season is an underwhelming season. Nobody is telling you, yeah. But the fact that it's in the again, it's a question and it's in the conversation.
Yeah, no, but
is how good they've been.
I get your point. If you say that at the start of the season, then obviously, but given the position that they're in, then it's definitely underwhelming.
That's how crazy it is. That's how good they've been. That if they just win the Premier League, it's like, yeah, you could argue it's an underwhelming season. Being in the final of, so that means you've got out of a final in the Carabao Cup, but you've lost in the final in the Carabao Cup. You've either lost in the semi-final of the FA Cup or the final of the FA Cup, and you've not choked again, but you've lost again in the Champions League to a Dortmund or a PSG or a Bayern, or in the final to a Chelsea or a Porto or Real Madrid. So yeah, it's crazy, but that's how good they have been. You lot in the comments let us know. Oh yeah, sorry, Liverpool as well. I legit just forgot.
You are petty as hell. You are so petty. You think I don't know this?
I legit forgot.
Get out of it.
You know my memory's bad. I legit forgot. I was trying to remember them.
Petty guy.
Did I name all the teams on the other side? I said Dortmund, City, Bayern, PSG. I named all the ones. That's legitimate.
You petty as hell. All right, move on.
You lot in the comments, let us know as well. What would you rate City's season so far on a scale of 0 to 10? Please let us know. Zane here saying, I think overall sounds right. We need it. Bradley saying, yeah, no debate. City at first, but Jan will pretend they may. Shout out Jan City. They will pretend that they may not win the league. Oh, facts. You know me telling me about a tough February and they win every game. But you lot in the comments, let us know. Yeah, they did win every single match. And I was like, tough games where? So we're saying City. I'm saying a 10. Stroll saying a 9. That's cool. I understand the 9. Okay. Manchester United. This is going to be interesting. Very interesting on a scale of 0 to 10. What is Manchester United's season so far? I'll let you start, Stroke. I'll let you give your thoughts and your score on it, etc.
6.
Okay, go on, tell us why.
Because, like I said, I go back to early January and Manchester United come to Anfield.
Yeah.
And I look at that game specifically. At this point, we still had the record intact. We had our 2 centre midfielders playing at centre back against the team that was renowned as the best attack in the league at that point.
Yeah.
And you's choked. You's no belief from the manager. No intent to go and win the game. You take Bruno off, which I still don't understand, and it didn't make any sense. We were there for the taking that game. Let's not get this mistaken.
Definitely without question.
And you don't realise the boost that has psychologically on your players to go away to Anfield on the ridiculous run that Liverpool have been on for nearly 4 years unbeaten at home. It's your arch rival. To win that game, not only does it dent Liverpool and has effects on Liverpool psychologically, imagine the boost that gives to Manchester United. You believe at that point you can go and beat anyone.
Yes.
The league wasn't done at that point. City were only just about starting to get going.
Yeah.
You were in a position where you could have kicked on.
Yep.
And you could be serious title contenders. And I look at that game and it winds me up. Because if I was from a management point of view, when you dissect it, it's just like you could clearly see after the first 30 minutes that you were beating the press quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And that's why Pogba, being the player that he is, you've seen him drifting inside constantly because he knew that's where the game was there to be won.
Yep.
So he didn't stay on the right-hand side, which is ridiculous putting him there in the first place.
Yeah.
You could clearly see that you're beating the press. So why not just switch it and go to a diamond and have full control of that game and go with the 2 up top to utilise Henderson and Fabinho, who aren't centre-backs. The game was there to be won. And then you look at since we're talking overall, you then look at the PSG game. I've just talked upon it on Saeed's show. The fact that this man did not take Fred off is the sole reason you went out of the Champions League. You were in a position, you needed 1 point from 2 games.
Yep.
Fred gets sent off because you kept him on stupidly, and you could clearly see that his head wasn't in the game. That's poor management.
Yep.
And then you completely mismanaged the whole Leipzig game, which was just poor on everyone's half. That starts with you. The book lies with you.
Yeah.
I look at this Manchester United team and I expected more. Don't get me wrong, I expected you to finish second this season because of how good your squad is capable of being. The issue you've got is all the stuff that goes with it: the poor management, the poor manager, the poor board, the poor everything. But yeah, it's a 6 for me because I'm just. It's just like you take 1 step forward, 2 steps back with Manchester United at this point, and it just seems like it's just going to keep going round in this toxic circle.
Yep. You lot as well, let us know. Give us your thoughts on United season so far on a scale of 0 to 10. Bradley saying about City going back to them. 7.5 out of 10. They have done this before, nothing new. Yeah, but you still have to give them credit in the manner in which they've done. Bradley's saying United season 5 out of 10. Big up Trev Third, who says, I randomly landed in this chat. Well, welcome. I hope you're a football fan if you randomly landed here. We're going to touch on that, Zane. Zane's asking Stroh about Kanate. We will touch on that also. With United, it's a tough one because, again, the context matters. Yes, being second is all well and good. The possibility of winning the Europa League is another thing that is good.
Can I ask you a question before you go on? So, obviously, being second is good. Do you honestly believe if Liverpool don't have the injuries that they have, you finish second?
Nah, no. Not in the slightest. Like I said, we are literally second because of 2 things. 1, because of the individual talent we have. And 2, everybody else, all our rivals around us fell off. So Liverpool fell off. Chelsea were bad. That's why they sacked their manager.
This my issue with United. Manchester City weren't great until after Christmas.
That's true. They weren't exceptional.
You had a serious point.
We did. We were top of the league. Let's not forget that.
And that's what I'm saying.
Hence why I'm not going to give him a high score. So where I was going with that is, yes, we're second. Yes, we could win the Europa League. But the manner in which we went out of the Champions League has to be spoken about. Our style of play has to be spoken about. Our pragmatic football has to be spoken about. just our performances overall have to be spoke about. The fact we should be closer to Manchester City. I'm not saying we should beat them in the title race, but we should be in the race. That's what I'm saying. We're good enough to be in the race. So that being said, I have to. It's tough. What would I rate it so far? Because we went probably a 4, to be honest. Probably a 4. You lot let us know. And yeah, Trev Third, it's good to know you like soccer. Where you watching from that you calling it soccer? You stateside or Canada, which is cool. We welcome all. But yeah, you lot get the likes up, please, as well. I'm saying, yeah. Because yes, we're in the Europa League, but we shouldn't even be in the Europa League. So winning it is all well and good, but we shouldn't be there. With the team we have, should we be in the top 4? Yes. Definitely. So you're doing on the Premier League side, you're doing well. You went out of the FA Cup quarterfinal in terrible fashion. You went out of a League Cup semi-final in terrible fashion. So that has to be held accountable. So yeah, I'm saying a 4. I am saying a 4. I would bump that up to a 6 if United win the Champions League, win the Europa League. That's it. I'd bump it to a 6. Because that's an above average season. That's what I would say. But at the moment, it's 4. What score did you give it?
I give it a 6.
You give it a 6. Okay. So you give it higher than me. Leicester City. This is going to be an interesting one. Leicester City, again, we'll go to you, Stro. Thoughts on a score and your thoughts on why?
7.5.
Okay. And why?
So, it would have been an 8 if they didn't go out in the Europa League in the fashion that they did.
Okay.
But they're still in the FA Cup. I can't remember where they progressed in the League Cup, but I think it was pretty far.
I can find out. Go on, carry on.
You then the 3rd in the Premier League. Leicester should not be 3rd in the Premier League.
I hear that.
But you look at the job that Rodgers has done. It's a perfect storm, and it's a perfect fit and a setup for him at Leicester. There's not really high expectations, so he can go under the radar.
True.
You look at the recruitment at Leicester; it's been phenomenal.
Facts.
So in the past 2-3 years, you've got.
They went out in the League Cup to Arsenal in the 3rd round. But carry on.
Okay. So you've got the following, right? Castagna, Fofana, James Justin, Tielemans, Pereira, Soyuncu. Iheanacho's now starting to really hit some form.
Yeah.
Maddison, Harvey Barnes. These are all standout players for them.
Yeah.
And some of them have. I'd love at Liverpool, just to be honest, but they've not got a massive budget like a Manchester United or Manchester City or even Liverpool. But their recruitment is excellent, and it keeps them challenging. And more to the point, Rodgers tactically is good enough in one-off games to disrupt a manager. You've seen it with Pep earlier this season. So just the fact that they're 3rd, and I think they are strong contenders for top 4. It's definitely a 7.5.
You're saying a 7.5. Okay, everything you said there, I agree with. I look at their league form, the fact that they've managed to match it again from last season, and they're in a stronger position to finish in the top 4. They're in the FA Cup semi-final. Obviously, they just went out in the last round in the Europa League. That's probably the only black mark. And then even that being a black mark, they've had to deal with injuries. They've had to contend with injuries as well, and their squad's not the biggest, and they still managed to be in and around. They're 7 points off West Ham in 5th, I believe it is. Let me double check that. Yeah, they're 7 points off West, so they're 7 points within. They're a point off 2nd. They're 4 points above Chelsea. I gotta give them full credit. Full credit. With 9 games to go there in this situation, the fact they could finish, they could get a top 4 finish and win an FA Cup. That's an incredible season for Leicester City. That's an incredible. Say they finish 3rd or 4th. Let's say, for instance, worst case scenario, they finish 4th and win an FA Cup. That's an incredible season. You've won a trophy and you're going into the Champions League. I gotta give them an 8. I have to say 8. Simply because of the injuries they've had to contend with, but yet they've still managed to move along. So yeah, I'm saying an 8 for Leicester City. Okay, this one's going to be interesting. And I think we have to do it in 2 parts. Chelsea are next. Oh yeah, you lot in the comments, let us know as well. Don't forget, continue to give us your thoughts as well. Big up Ryan, who says big up Flawless and Stro. But yeah,
to do it in 2 parts at all.
You don't think we can do because I don't think it's fair to rank Tuchel with Lampard.
We're ranking Chelsea.
We're ranking Chelsea. Okay, fair enough then. Fair enough. I just rate Tuchel, but I hear your point. All right, Chelsea, who are currently 4th in the Premier League, 5 points. 5 points off Leicester and 6 points off Manchester United. And they're 2 points clear of West Ham. So your thoughts, Chelsea to score and where you would rank them?
6.
Okay, go on. Why 6?
You spent nearly 300 million. You're 2 points ahead of West Ham. I don't want to hear the fact that Lampard was in charge and Tuchel just took over and he's the next coming of Jesus. I don't care. You spent nearly 300 million on 8 or 9 players, and you are 2 points ahead of West Ham. And you are literally, and this is what baffles me, right? Is you look at how bad Liverpool have been, struck with injuries this season and the hit and miss form. You're only 5 points ahead, and you spent 300 million. You should be ashamed of yourself.
So go on. What did you say your score was? A 6? I give them higher than a 6 because I'm looking at it. They weren't okay. So I think what the issue is the manner in which they've done it. Because if someone would have said to you, all right, Chelsea will finish in the top 4, potentially win the Champions League and FA Cup, be in the running for both of those competitions and top 4, that's a very good season. That would have been the aim. You don't think that would have been the aim? That would have been the aim for them. Top 4 finish, Champions League and FA Cup. That's the aim for them. And they currently have all those 3 things. I think they'll finish in the top 4. I think they'll win the FA Cup. I think they'll win the FA Cup.
All I heard
Go on.
all summer was 4 words.
Go on.
4 famous words.
I know what the 4 words are. Go on.
Pray for the rivals.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't work out that way.
Shout out to Monster, by the way.
It did not work out that way at all.
Yeah, go on.
But that's all I heard all summer was gas from Chelsea fans. Unbelievable amounts of gas. And this is what made me laugh more than anything. You're 2 points ahead of West Ham. You spent nearly 300 million. No, it's a 6. No, it's a 6. I do not want to hear it, Flo. It's a 6.
All right, so Brad, you let us know. So is Bradley saying a 6 or 6.5 out of 10?
There you go.
I'm saying, Roman spent that money to challenge for the league, not going to lie. I don't think he did. With Lampard, that wasn't the aim. The aim for me, I think, was top 4. What they're doing now is what the aim was. Top 4 finish.
When have you ever seen a team spend 300 million to get top 4? That was to bridge the gap to the title.
To get closer, but that's
right, so
more.
How closer are they now?
They're not closer in points, but all right, they're not. Here's the thing. Here's why context matters. They might not be closer in points, but in theory, they're closer. Like we take them more. Me personally, I'm taking them more seriously next season. No FFP, they go get a striker. The only team that's going to win the title outside of Liverpool and City is Chelsea. They are the next best out of the. Come on, they're the next best out of the rest. It's only because of the manager we are ranking them so low. If Tuchel's there from the start, they're higher up the table. They're probably second. I would say that. No, they're definitely second to me. They're in the semi-final of the FA Cup and favourites to get to a Champions League final because of the draw.
They are not favourites.
Of course they're favourites to get to... All right, so who's the favourites on that side of the
Liverpool.
draw?
How? No, Liverpool? Are you joking me?
I don't think it's Liverpool.
How? Right, regardless of injuries...
Go on.
And regardless of everything, we're talking European pedigree. There's a reason why Real Madrid will always be one of the favourites because they know how to navigate a 2-legged tie. I refuse to sit opposite you.
Okay, are they second favourites then?
Yeah.
All right, then. So argument's sake. So they're second favourites to get to a Champions League final. They're second favourites to win the FA Cup. And they're favourites, they're within the mix to finish in the top 4. That's a good season for them. Because context matters, because we're not talking about under Lampard. This is why I wanted to do, because if we're talking Lampard, that's different. What's Tuchel's? There isn't no more they could have done apart from be closer in the points total to Manchester City. There's nothing else they could have done this season. So,
go on. Last season, they finished 33 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
They are, as it stands...
How many points are they behind?
20 points behind.
Okay,
so you spent 300 million to
gain back 13 points.
13 points.
Yeah.
What we're doing,
really.
And yes, I understand Tuchel's come in and done an unbelievable job. That's not taking anything away from you. You spent nearly 300 million on players, and you've clawed back 13 points, which then gets you 2 points ahead of West Ham. It's a 6.
Yeah, because West Ham are having a good season. Bear in mind, I've not ranked them higher. I gave them a 7 simply because of what they're in the running for. I can't, because if they do that, to me, your second favourites for the FA Cup, second favourites to get into a Champions League final, and you're going to finish in the top 4. To me, I can't give you a 6.
Are they going to get in the top 4?
Yes.
Are you certain?
100% they'll get in the top. I think they're favourites for second.
What?
They're favourites for over Leicester and United. Let's check their running. This is what the show's all about, people.
Well,
Someone said here, Zane said, Flawless, how much backs did Lewis give you? Compliments to Chelsea more than slander he gives to Arsenal. Nah, I just rate the manager. And I already said, if you go back and watch remember when we did this previous show and we rated everybody's window and I give Chelsea so high. Why did I give Chelsea so high? Because I said they already had players there. They added to it. The only thing we're going to find out about is if the manager's good enough. We found out Lampard's not. Now they brought in Tuchel, who I don't even rate too highly. I don't even rate Tuchel that highly. But even he's shown I can get a tune out of these players. They've only conceded 2 goals. They're, 16 games unbeaten. They've won 13 of them. And you can see there's deficiencies in the squad. So if he adds to that, they are a problem. They're already a problem anyway. Defensively, he's got them solid now. They're one of the better defenses in the league. So they don't concede a lot of goals. If they get it right at the other end, Chelsea are a problem. They're a problem. They just dispatched Atletico Madrid. Let's not forget that. Just because Atletico Madrid were bad, people want to dismiss that because when that, what's it called? I'm laughing at Zayn said, fair enough, Flawless, you did, you funny guys. Facts. Where was the last Zayn threw me off my train of thought? Yeah, when they drew Atletico Madrid, they're not favourites for that. Everyone's talking about it as a tough draw. They brushed them aside. So to your point then, like I said, they're second favourites for the Champions League final, second favourites for FA Cup final. They're going to finish in the top. You don't think they finish in the top 4?
They spent 300 million. I expect them to finish in the top 4 if you spend that amount of money.
But that's my point is, I think they will finish in the top 4.
They should do.
Yeah,
300 million pounds.
So that's solid for them. If they win if they finish in the top 4 and win a FA Cup or the Champions League, what does it bump up to? So let's say they finish in the top 4 and win the FA Cup. What's that? Is that not 7?
100%. But as it stands right now,
go on.
They're getting what I got.
You lot let us know in the comments and that. You lot let us know. No, Trevford. Nah, 300 million isn't what they got paid. It's what Chelsea spent in the summer window. So I'm saying a 7. It's just because similar to Manchester City, I'm looking at what you can do. You're fighting on 3 fronts. FA Cup, Champions League, top 4. Well, we'll rank it. Champions League, FA Cup, top 4. That's the order. Wherever you want to put the FA Cup or top 4. If they get 2 out of 3 of those things, that's a good season, considering what happened at the start. But yeah, okay, it's interesting. So you're saying we'll have to get JV in on this as well. West Ham. I'll let you start. Okay, go on. Why?
Because there's no expectation for West Ham to be where they are.
Huh?
Given the manager who's constantly criticised for his time at Manchester United, given his history in the Premier League, just look at their signings, right? Soufal, solid signing at right back. Souček, unbelievable signing in centre midfield.
Yep.
He's then got Declan Rice playing out of his skin, which has started to turn a lot of people's heads in their opinion on him.
Mm-hmm.
You've then
not mine, but I hear you.
You've got Dawson in a centre back with experience, and he's been absolutely solid for them.
Yeah.
He's then getting the best out of Cresswell. He's then getting the best out of Antonio. He's then getting, you've not seen Noble anywhere near the team at any points. You then look at, obviously I've already mentioned Antonio, Ben Rama's coming. He's another breath of fresh air for them. And you then rotate him with, you bring Balberin and stuff like that. And they're not expected to be 5th at this point. And they have, let's be honest, they'd be higher up if they would have just held on against Arsenal. They just capitulated.
Yeah, that's true. If they got 2 extra points, they are level on points with Chelsea.
With £300 million Chelsea.
You pay, man.
Because they are £300 million Chelsea.
Yeah, but they were £300 million on the Lampard tax adds them to that. That's a nice segue. That's a lovely segue. I'm proud of myself with that. That's 300 million, but Lampard tax is hefty on that.
And?
So it's not 300 million. It's 300 million with VAT, or in this instance, Lampard tax.
Well, either way,
that takes a lot of money off it. That's what I would say.
So yeah, it's definitely they deserve a high ranking.
West Ham, go on.
It's unprecedented, and look at the deficiencies and the issues with the board, with obviously Gold and the issue with the fans, and they are a team which do rely on the fans and the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and this is something which I don't think a lot of people have spoke about. Is you will see teams who are relying on fans. It's had an impact, especially at home games, And West Ham are one of them, but they've done solid this season. And yeah, it's an 8 for me.
And just a side note for all you people, just back to Manchester United, always like, oh, we hate the owners. This is why we're not successful. West Ham hate their owners, and Moyes is over there being successful. So like you said, they're 5th. I have to give them an 8. Have to. Actually, the fact that there's only 9 games left and they're looking like they're going to finish in the Europa League places at the very least. West Ham, look at the teams they're ahead of: Spurs, Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal. If someone would have told you that and they're 2 points off top 4, someone would be like, you crazy under Moyes. No chance. That's incredible.
I'd have believed the first bit.
What, that they're ahead of what? They're ahead of Spurs, Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal.
Oh, I thought it just said Arsenal.
No, that's just Arsenal. But is their squad that much better than Arsenal's?
No, it's just...
That's my point. So you have to give them credit for that. The fact that they're 5th, okay, they're only a point ahead of Spurs. They're 3 points ahead of Liverpool. They're 3 points ahead of Everton, who have a game in hand. But the fact that they're in that position is incredible. 2 points off top 4 with 9 games to go. And this is West Ham. Now, you got to give Moyes credit, but I'd say, 8.5. Because if they finish in the top 4, we're giving them a 10.
Yeah.
So I have to say 8.5 for West Ham and Moyes. Definitely. Okay, on to the next team. This is going to be interesting.
Nah.
Tottenham Hotspur, and you lot in the comments as well, please continue. Yeah, man, saying I like that VAT is like Lampard tax facts. That's why it's 300 million, but yeah.
5.
What are you saying about Spurs? 5?
Yeah.
Okay, go on, elaborate. Why 5?
Because once again, certain fans on social media, when they had the start that they had,
you always...
and Kane and Son were the next Dwight, York and Andy Cole.
They were the next Romario and Ronaldo and Rivaldo.
Yeah, they were everything on that football pitch. And Mourinho's back. This is Mourinho at his prime. And look at him. It's just completely capitulated, which you knew it was going to.
Yeah, we told Spurs fans. But go on.
You sign Gareth Bale. That should be the thing that tips you into the top 4. If you use him correctly. When you look at the attacking prowess that Tottenham have got, you bring Højbjerg, who to me is one of the signings of the season. He's been outstanding and he fits that system so well. You've got Ndombele, who on his day is unplayable and you don't utilise him enough. Doherty was one of the best fullbacks in the league for the past 2 years and he's a shell of himself. Vinicius, prolific everywhere, but Tottenham. There's issues.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a 5.
She's saying a 5. I'm looking at it. Spurs 6. Probably where they should be. Around about. Even if Everton win their game in hand. Oh, yeah. If Everton win their game in hand, they do go above them by a point. But I would say 6th, 7th is where Spurs are supposed to be in terms of the league. Yes, the football is awful. So I get why. Because Mourinho is just totally not utilising the attacking options he has. How you have Kane, Son, Bale, Bergwijn, Ndombele, Ali, Mora, and try and play defensive football is criminal. And then you have Aurier and Reguilon as fullbacks. And then you continue to play Eric Dyer as centre-back. Makes no type of sense whatsoever. Makes no type of sense to play. Somebody said it, he's trying to play defensive football with an attacking lineup. Like the North London Derby, for instance. That's an attacking. He had Bale, Ali, I think it was Son, Kane, and Ndombele all on the pitch, but you're trying to go there and play defense.
Yeah, which is just made no sense.
Isn't? But that being said, if you look at him with their results and the way they went out against Zagreb, actually, that adds into it. I forgot about that. That's terrible. Probably a 5. I think I agree with you there. Probably a 5. That's what I would say. Probably a 5. What you lot saying in the comments, please let us know. All the teams. All right, moving on to the big one. I know Ryan is already going to be in the comments talking about this. And obviously, Stro, this is your team. Liverpool, currently in 7th place, but in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Thoughts?
They're getting the same score as how many points we are behind top 4 for me.
I'm trying to do the maths. You know, my maths is at 5.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, elaborate. Why a 5?
I've seen Ryan's comment about needs to be a 2. Let's just put things in perspective for a second. So, Liverpool Football Club have had 1,100 days of players injured this season. 1,100 days, right? We've had 19 different centre-back partnerships in the league alone.
That is crazy.
Just the league, 19 different centre-back partnerships. We've had to play games, for example, at home at Manchester United, where we've had to play our 2 midfielders at centre-back.
Yeah.
Because no one expects your 3 centre-backs that you go into the season with to all get season-ending injuries. It's never happened before, ever. Then you lose. Then you look at the stuff that's gone on behind the scenes. Alisson and his dad passing away in the manner that he passed away.
Yeah.
Klopp's mum passing away, and everything just seemed to be against Liverpool this season. We're still only 5 points off top 4. And I'm just putting this out there to the people in the comments. Can you name me a team to go through this amount of injuries in the Premier League and still be there or thereabouts in the top 4 race? I don't think there's going to be many. I think City, possibly Chelsea under Tuchel. And this is the point that I'm making. Klopp has done a phenomenal job this season to keep us where we are. Now, don't get me wrong. Klopp's made some glaring mistakes in games, but he gets a pass because of the past 3-4 years. My thing with Liverpool is this. It is our big problem hasn't necessarily been the injuries. Our big problem is our front 3, not scoring enough goals.
Right. But you had Jota there who seemed to be before he got injured.
But why did he get injured?
Because Klopp played him.
Mistake.
Yeah. Klopp played him in a silly game. And even aside from the injuries, losing 6 games in a row at home is unforgivable.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what it comes down to. So where does Liverpool attacking threat come from?
We noticed the fullbacks.
The fullbacks, right? So if you have centre-backs that don't play centre-backs, you're going to be overcompensating on trying to make sure you don't concede goals, correct?
Yeah, true.
Which then means that you don't get the fluidity going forward, which is why you've not seen Andy Robertson as effective down the left-hand side this season. Do you know what I mean? You then look at Trent specifically. Trent's not been the same player this season. Why hasn't he been the same player this season? Because he's not got the assurance of Henderson, because Henderson's been here, there and everywhere covering for the injuries that we've had at centre-back. That then feeds into the front 3. Now, this is not an excuse. We've had chances to win them games. Burnley specifically, Origi missed a 1-on-1 and he smashed it off the bar.
Facts.
That has to score. That has to go in. Mane has not been the same player this season. Firmino has been non-existent this season in terms of a few brilliant moments here or there, but consistently he's not been good enough this season.
Yeah.
And you just look at everything, the fact that we're still only 5 points off top 4. If you'd have said you have Van Dijk, if you said to me at the beginning of the season, Van Dijk's out for the season, Gomez out for the season, Matip out for the season, you have to buy a centre-back from the Championship and you have to loan in the centre-back. Henderson and Fabinho play centre-back against Manchester United at home. You have 19 different centre-back partnerships. Your front 3 isn't firing, but come the last 10 games of the season, you're still 5 points off the top 4. When you take it, I'd have snatched your hand off immediately.
I hear your point, but in context, that's on Liverpool. Like you said, you spoke about Origi.
Oh no, you know full well.
Yeah, you was highly, and you called it spot on, because I remember looking at you in this very room thinking Stroll's crazy for not rating, because I ranked Liverpool's transfer window much higher than you did, but you was highly critical because you said we seen City do this last season and not replace a centre back, and lo and behold, Virgil van Dijk then goes and gets injured and you need to get a centre back. But for me, that's more about even with the injuries, and I hear all of that, the preparation should have been better. Like you said, about there should be somebody better than
what did I say?
An Origi or Shaqiri coming off the bench. Go on.
But what did I say? And this is my big issue with Liverpool this season is it falls on the board and it falls on FSG.
Yeah.
Because the second Van Dijk gets injured, a centre-back becomes a priority. The second Gomez gets injured for the season, 2 weeks after that, that becomes January 1st, we are buying a centre-back.
Yeah.
Then when in December, Matip gets injured and you're having to play Fabinho and Henderson at centre-back, that then becomes 1st of January, we're getting a defender and we're sorting it out now.
Definitely.
Then when you're at home against Tottenham, which was a top-of-the-table clash at that point, and we're playing Reece Williams in his Premier League debut, to the on-form Harry Kane and Son, it's a mess.
Yeah.
And my big issue is them and the lack of backing. Don't be wrong, I am thrilled with the news this morning.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
Unbelievably
We will
thrilled
run
with the
through,
news
once we've
this
ranked
morning.
all the teams and give them a rating, we will run through
But-
them all again and what we think they need in terms of players. Yeah, go on, Stro.
If we did not have Klopp,
Yeah.
we would not be in the position that we're in.
Okay, I hear that. I hear what you're saying with that. So you're rating them a 5, yeah?
Just purely,
Yeah.
to be fair, just give
Same.
Klopp the 5.
We're all loving the injury excuses from champions to top 4 contenders we move. Arsenal fans are so shameless. I would give him, even though he's had the issues, like I said, if he doesn't play Jota in that game and Jota doesn't get injured, it's maybe different. Then maybe a switch up of approach. Maybe being better equipped in terms of squad. Like JV spoke on this, like somebody better than a Origi coming off the bench, someone better than a Shaqiri coming off the bench. But they are still within top 4. You are still in the Champions League quarterfinals also. I'll give credit to that. I'd say. But yeah, if someone would have said, even with all the injuries, you're 7th, none of the domestic cups, but you are in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I'll say 4.5 out of 10. Simply because you're the reigning champions. And this was not the expectation, even with injuries. So I'd say, yeah, 4.5 out of 10. That's me. Okay, over to your rivals across the way.
6.
Everton, 6. Why? I actually 100% agree with you as well.
Because I
agree with
think
you.
I think Ancelotti's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
The three of us love Ancelotti as a manager.
Yes.
What he stands for, his tactics, his attacking play, but tactically how brilliant he is.
Yeah.
And my issue is, and once again, a lot of fans talking, a lot of noise of how they're going to finish in the top 3 because they've got James Rodriguez,
Right.
Decore, and Allen, who I think are phenomenal signings, by the way, but you need more. And I just think that for them to be in the top 4 race and have a game in hand, and it's in their hands in a sense, they're in a great position, but there's just too many deficiencies with that squad. Jordan Pickford is the biggest problem with Everton. The biggest problem. And they won't go anywhere for the next few seasons if it isn't for him. So yeah, 6 for me. And that's purely down to the brilliance of Ancelotti.
Right. I hear that in terms of Ancelotti. Yeah, 6 I think is fair because they're roundabout where they're supposed to be. Yes, they have a game in hand. If they win that, they jump to 6, which is again in between, anywhere between 5th and 7th, depending on who wins the FA Cup and where the Europa League place goes. But anywhere between 5th and 8th, they're roundabout where they're supposed to be. They're joint 7th with Liverpool. Like I said, they have a game in hand. So I would say a 6 is fair. If they finish 5th, you could bump that up. If they do finish outside of the Europa League places, then you probably drop it to a 5. But currently, I'd say a 6. I would. All right, this next team is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. And everybody in the comments continue as well. Everybody in the comments as well, continue to give us your thoughts and we're rating every team 0 to 10 season so far. Arsenal.
3.
Go on, why?
Because you look at the signing of Partey specifically, that should have been a game changer. Because he, as a player, is a game changer.
Definitely.
Thomas Partey is unbelievable talent.
Yeah.
You then look at Aubameyang hasn't been the same this season. Why? Why hasn't he been the same this season?
That big contract.
But it's
Go on. Why else do you think? Okay,
the
why else?
style
All
of play.
jokes aside, you
The
reckon
style
it's a
of play.
style of play? Go on, elaborate.
it's the style of play because where's the service coming from in the style of play? Saka. Who else? Apart from reason because you've got Smith Rowe, who I think is a brilliant player. Odegaard starting to hit form, who is another phenomenal player, but you're not getting that kind of service from Xhaka. You're not. Like, Pepe's just started to hit a bit of form. He's been so inconsistent since his big money move. There's no service. And I said this last week. Lacazette, before he joined Arsenal, was the most prolific striker in Europe. Aubameyang, before he joined Arsenal, was the most prolific scorer in Europe. That's not a coincidence. There's serious issues. And you get Tierney, a great signing. But you've still got them two at centre back. It's not good enough. It's not, and then you've got Cedric, who he's Premier League proven, but he's not a world beater. He's not a game changer. He's just solid. Like Arsenal need better than that. And I mean the expectation of Arsenal this season. I mean, oh my lord!
Well, they did finish. Where did they finish?
They did a whole music video outside the Emirates.
They did. Yeah.
So like just for that alone, it's a free.
Here's the thing, though. You're saying a free. Where did they finish last season? 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So they finished 8th last season. All right, the squad got kind of, but with Partey is a big improvement. But did they have better squads than any of the teams ahead of them? I'm asking.
They surely must have a better squad than West Ham.
All right, West Ham, who have a prolific season. That's one. Who else?
Who else is up there?
Nah, wait. Even before, so City, no. United, no. Leicester, I don't think so. Chelsea, no. Spurs, nah. Liverpool, no. Everton, no. How many of Arsenal's team are you taking? How many of the 8 teams ahead of them? How many players are getting in their other squads? Partey being 1, definitely. Saka, I'll give you, that's 2. Maybe Gabriel, that's 3. Tierney, 4. Aubameyang, 5. All right, so you got half a team. So so let's break it down. Everton, then we'll run this through.
Leno definitely gets in.
All right, that's it. So Leno gets in there.
So that's 6. So that's half the team.
We'll just go off. Everton for this for this conversation's sake. So the goalkeeper, right back, Bellerin or Cedric over Coleman.
No,
not much in it. So all right, left back.
Definitely not. You're not taking any left back over Digne.
Digne is quite. So there's 2 centre backs. I rate Godfrey highly.
Gabriel.
So Gabriel gets in. That's 2.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 of the back 5 currently.
Yep.
Midfield.
Partey
will go in here. As much as I rate Allen, Partey. Who else? It's just Partey.
Odegaard now.
I'm not taking but that's why I'm not taking Odegaard over James.
No, I'm talking about like for Decore.
I'm playing Partey and I'm playing Partey and Allen.
No, you can play Partey and you can play the 2.
I'm playing Partey. I think the best 3 out of them is Partey and Allen. James. That's the best midfield 3 to me. So that's Partey. So that's 1 in. So we've got 1 in defense, 1 in midfield, attack. I give you Saka on one side, definitely. Yeah. Aubameyang on the other, and then Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski. Let's go.
So that's still 5.
So you got Aubameyang, you got Saka. So, but it's even. That's my point. It's not a big gap. Even if you look at Liverpool.
Yeah, but that's the point that I'm making.
Go on.
There's not a big gap between Everton's squad and Arsenal squad. But Everton are in a driving position where they can really challenge for the top 4. Arsenal are non-existent. Arsenal are competing with Leeds United.
That's true. All right, so what ranking are we giving this?
I'm 3.
I'm saying 4, but I get your point. Because they did finish 8th last season and 9th now. So all right, let's go on to Villa. Let's talk about Aston Villa. What are we saying about Aston Villa?
7.
10th. 1 point behind Arsenal. They was battling relegation. If it wasn't for VAR not being switched on, they'd probably be in the championship now.
Definitely a 7. Massive improvement.
That's I have to give them an 8 to not even be in a relegation battle after finishing 17th the season before.
It's the recruitment.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving them 8.
Listen.
That's what I'm saying.
I sat here and watched Liverpool and I got laughed at when I said that Matty Cash and Ollie Watkins will at some point in the next 2 years get an England call up.
You did say it.
And lo and behold, a certain Ollie Watkins got an England call up over Bamford, which I find ridiculous still, by the way, but I'll come on to that in a minute. And he scored. Like, the recruitment, Traore, great signing. Matty Cash, unbelievable signing. Barkley on loan, great signing. Grealish, unbelievable. And it's a shame that he's got injured because that's kind of derailed their season. They were in a good position. Do I think they can pick it back up? Absolutely. I think Dean Smith done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely a 7 for me.
saying an 8 for Aston Villa. I'm saying an 8 for Villa. Definitely. Zayn saying my ends Villa 7, my baby boy Grealish, no Bellingham around here. Why do you hate Bellingham so much, Zayn? Because you remind you of Lingard. Is that what it is?
It's Birmingham.
He's saying Spain without the S, lads, is painful. Yeah, facts. Zayn also says, respect my Norwegian Messi there, lads. Who's the Norwegian Messi in that? Who? You talk about Odegaard, you're a joker in that comedian. See, Zayn saying it's a top 10 side team. That's how bad it is. Like, yeah, it's barely that. That's what I'm saying. Like, they should be fighting with your Evertons and that. Plus, Everton do have a better manager as well. There's not much in it. So they're probably roundabout where they're supposed to be. Give or take a couple of positions. Maybe you could argue Everton and West Ham. Maybe. But then that only bumps them up to 7th.
I agree.
All right, moving on. You'll enjoy this one. 11th.
8.5.
Leeds United. So you're giving Leeds a higher rating than Villa?
Are you joking, man? Leeds have just come up from the Championship.
Yeah, but Villa just about survived.
Leeds have, after 15 years or 16 long years, they went all the way down to League Two.
I wish it was day
had
two.
to claw the way back up. Just got promoted last season. There's no expectations. Everyone thought they're going to be a relegation battle. That they're not going to do anything. Bielsa's not cut out for the Premier League. And look at the position that they're in. How many points are they off Arsenal?
They are 3 points over Arsenal.
That's my point.
3 points.
8.5 all day. They should. Leeds United have had ridiculous recruitment. Rafinha is a world beater. I would love him at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Rodrigo is an excellent signing. And he's not just any signing. He's a Spanish international.
Yeah.
Number 9, Robin Koch, German international. Llorente, centre-back, Spanish international. For a newly promoted Leeds United. No Premier League experience at this point.
Right.
That's Bielsa. It's definitely an 8.5. They deserve a high rating just for the fact that they're there and they will stay up this season.
All right. Okay.
And I stood here 10 toes down and said that Leeds United would not get relegated at the beginning of the season. And I was laughed at again.
Yeah. Okay. You did call it still. You called it spot on. You did say Leeds won't be got. Yeah, I suppose coming up from the Championship, not even being in a relegation zone. If I've give Villa an 8, I have to give Leeds United 8.5. Definitely. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Okay, Crystal Palace.
5.
Yeah, I would say a 5. They're where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well above the relegation zone. No relegation battle. Not too far off the top 10. That is probably where Crystal Palace should be. Obviously, they got Eze as well. Yeah, I'd say a 5. Okay, this one's going to be interesting. Wolves.
4.
Why? Because they're probably a few places and a few points off where they really should be.
A few?
Go on.
They were Europa League last season.
Yes, I hear you.
So for me, they should be in the top 10.
Okay, and they're 6 points off the top 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a couple, but yeah, they're a couple wins off. So yeah,
it's a 4.
I give them a 4.5.
Yeah,
because of the injuries they've had. They've had some bad ones as well. I'd say a 4.5 for Wolves. Is it the end of the road for Nuno?
No.
Like the cycle of that team, does he have to go again? Does he have to slightly change it?
He has to slightly change it. He has to slightly tweak it, and
does he go with something different?
You will see him do that. He will pluck out this Portuguese star from nowhere and it'll work. But
the same way he got Nel to replace Jota.
Like Martinez's getting on.
Yeah.
So you will need someone at centre midfield. Do you know what I mean?
And then go pick someone up.
Nuno is an excellent manager. Yeah. He's one of the most underrated in the Premier League for me.
Okay, Southampton.
Because
their form fell off a cliff. Their form has been terrible.
5.
Terrible.
5. Yeah, it's 5.
It's a 5. I reckon to me, they should be in and around Crystal Palace, Leeds, Villa, similar to Wolves, I would say. With the manager they have a very highly rated, well, not highly rated, but a rated manager. They have Danny Ings. They have other ballers there. They should, and their form really fell off a cliff. It really did. Like, if you look, I think it was January, since I think they've only won like 3 games. Look, even at the form chart now, it's like they've lost 4 out of their last 5. Yeah, but even so, get draws.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he got injured because look, I'm looking here. All right, they beat Sheffield United, but I'm looking at where's the wins. Look at this. I go all the way to let's start at January. So they beat Liverpool, and then they didn't win again till they beat Liverpool at the top of the year, and they didn't win again. Wait, have I missed out? Yes, they didn't win again till March.
Yeah, but it's a 5.
That is awful. That is awful. They didn't win again, so they beat Liverpool on the. Let me get this right. On the 4th of January, I didn't win another Premier League game till the 6th of March. That's 2 months. And even before that, I remember their form not being the best. It's slightly better, but even then it's a bit, all right, so it is better, yeah. But that's awful.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's awful. Yeah, I would say, to me, I'm giving them I'm giving them a 4. 4 seems about right. Okay, your favorite team
3.
after Liverpool. Wait, you didn't even let me land, fam. Please let me land.
3.
Stroll's second team in the Premier League, Burnley. Why 3?
I just want these man out of the Premier League.
Yeah, but that's your bias against them.
No, it's not. It's because they just don't evolve. They just don't do anything.
Yeah, then what exactly what it says on the tin. Stay in the Premier League.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a 3.
Stay in the Premier League. Like, I can't give them a 3 when they're clear of the Premier. They're literally not been in a relegation battle. Not clear, but they're clear-ish. They're clear-ish.
The only thing clear-ish
Yeah.
about Burnley is the fact that they are Burnley Football Club. That's it.
They clear-ish, I would say. I don't think they'll get. You think they'll get relegated? All right, cool. No worries. You lot in the comments continue.
They get relegated.
Yeah, I know you hope, but what do you think?
No.
Okay, you lot in the comments continue. I'm gonna run through while Stroll just dips out. But Burnley, give you my thoughts on Burnley. I think 3 is way too harsh. Am I a fan of the way Burnley play? No. Am I a fan of their style? No. But they get results. They stay above the relegation zone. They stay in the Premier League. They've been here for the longest. The same way we like to big up a Graham Potter at Brighton, who we'll get onto afterwards. He's not been in the Premier League this long. He plays a better brand of football, but he's still below them. Eddie Howe, who we waxed lyrical about, Bournemouth got relegated also. So Burnley, I'm giving them. They're where they're supposed to be. Level on points with Southampton. 2 points off Wolves. I'm saying 4 points off Crystal Palace. They're not even that far. They're only 6 points off Leeds, who Stroll, when it comes back, was waxing lyrical about. So I'm giving them 9 games to go. They'll stay up. You got to give them a 5. I'm saying a 5. You lot let me know what you think. Obviously, we'll get Stroll's thoughts on it. Brighton. Interesting one. A point behind Burnley. They are in a relegation battle. Even though Fulham are on 26 points, Brighton are on 32 points. Again, Brighton are probably where you would expect them to be. Fighting relegation, but clear-ish. They have a kind of a nice cushion. They're 6 points. Yeah, and they played a game less than Fulham, and there are 6 points off them as well. But yeah, Stroll's just re-entered the building. So Burnley, I gave them a 5.
Oh, you absolute coward.
How is that me being a coward? Burnley a 5. They're where they're supposed to be. Where they're supposed to be, family.
No, they ain't. They're supposed to be in the bin. They ain't in the bin.
Nah, you're talking about style. I'm just talking about where they're supposed to be for the lack of investment, the players they have. They're above the relegation zone. They have a 7-point cushion with 9 games to go, and they have a game in hand on Fulham.
I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree.
So we only got 2. You give him a 3, I give him a 5.
Right.
So that's only a 2-mark difference. Burnley, what would it take for? So if they were in Wolves' position, would you give him a 5?
Yeah.
Well, it's only 2 points.
Are they in that position?
No, but it's 2 points.
So therefore, that's why there's a 2-point gap.
Okay, so if Wolves lose their next game and then Burnley win, that's not a 5 out of 10 season for them.
No.
So what? I don't understand.
Because the season's not finished yet.
We're saying so far.
Yeah, so far they get a 3.
How do they get a 3? You acting like they're 19th. How you get a 3 and you're above the relegation zone by 6 points? They're above the relegation zone by 6 points. It's more than...
It's a 3.
5 points, but yeah. It's mad. All right, moving on. Brighton. I'll let you start.
4.
So how did Brighton get a higher mark than Burnley when they are a point behind them?
Because I like Graham Potter as a manager.
Graham Potter just a new Eddie Howe.
No, he's not. And is there a problem with Eddie Howe?
Yeah,
I would rather have a Premier League full of Eddie Howes in the bottom half of the table than a Premier League full of Sam Allardyce and Sean Dyche.
Hey, less of the Big Sam slander, all right? You do not disrespect Big
I
Sam on
will
this show.
disrespect.
No, we don't
Yes.
disrespect.
Yes, we do.
Man who have never been relegated, and you're talking about Eddie.
Man who's never
have
been relegated.
Yeah, never been
Fast forward a
relegated.
couple of weeks, he's getting relegated.
Yeah, but that's the first time ever. You get what I'm saying? And that Eddie Howe got
may
relegated
it
quick.
Be the last.
Eddie Howe got relegated quick time. That's what I'm
Regardless,
saying.
I would rather have managers like that than have the dinosaurs of Sean Dyche and Sam Allardyce.
So this is more, but this is not what we're asking. We're not asking whose playing style is better. We're just saying rate the team's season so far.
Yeah, and I'm rating this.
So Brian, you're saying
so
a 4.
far.
I'd say a 4 is about right. Yeah, because they're where they're supposed to be, kind of clear of the relegation zone. So I'd give them a 4. But you say I gave Burnley a 5 because again, that's where they're supposed to be. All right, this one's going to be good. Newcastle United.
2.
What? 2?
Are you joking me? What do you mean, what? Where are they?
They are 17th still.
Delia Smith voice, where are they?
Where are you? Yeah, they're 2 points clear. Yeah,
2 points clear. Right, so they got Callum
Yeah.
Wilson in.
Yeah.
Should be Ryan Fraser in.
Yeah.
They spent 40 million the season before on Joelinton.
Okay.
The facilities, stadium, they've had funds. They shouldn't be nowhere near the relegation zone.
Yeah.
It's a 2.
I hear that. I'm just reading some of the comments that we missed. Was Zane saying, yo, hold up. Did I hear 8.5 and we packed them 4-1? They're a great side defending. That
Yeah.
system has to change. He's talking about Leeds. Leeds he's talking about. Yeah, but they're still where they are in the table coming up from the Championship. I said an 8. But yeah, go on. Back to Newcastle because of all the money they've spent and the players they brought in. So you're giving them a 2.
Yep.
because they are in dire straits. It's a bad season, really. When you look at the teams, they're behind Brighton, Burnley, Southampton, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Leeds, and Aston Villa. I'm not saying they should be above all those sides, but what I'm saying is that they should be competing with them sides. Like, they shouldn't be as many points. Like, they're, 11 points away from Leeds. That is crazy.
Exactly.
9 points off Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm. Not good enough.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, I think I get a 2 is about right. 2 is about right. Okay, into the relegation zone. Scott Parker's Fulham.
4.
Go on, why?
Because people expected him to be in the relegation zone anyway, but the signings that he's made in January have made a massive difference. The impact since January, the change of formation tactically, he's been a lot more astute, and they're playing some unbelievable stuff, and they are a solid team to play against. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you went to Craven Cottage, we experienced it at Anfield. They're a tough team. So
yeah, tough side.
So yeah, 4 because I think that they will swap with Newcastle. Yeah. I think they'll get out of the relegation zone.
When you look at the fixtures, Newcastle have fixtures are hell pretty much.
Yeah,
fixtures are hell. Whereas Fulham, their fixtures ain't much better, but they're better than Newcastle's. There's more points to be gained.
And they're in better form, which helps.
Because they got Villa away, Wolves at home, Arsenal away, Chelsea at home, Burnley at home, Southampton away, United away, and then Newcastle at home on the last day. They're not easy fixtures if you look at it. I think we've been through this. But you look at Aston Villa away, that's going to be tough. Wolves, you can see a draw. Arsenal and Chelsea, away to both of them. If they got 0 points, nobody would be shocked. Burnley, you maybe expect them in Southampton draw. So you could argue that out of their games until Newcastle, the only game they win is the Burnley one.
Yeah.
Whew, it's going to be interesting. I hope it's Fulham and Newcastle on the last day. I hope so. That's what I'm hoping for. That showdown. So Fulham, you're saying a 4. I'm saying a 4. Because the fact everyone expected them to go down, like you said, they've clawed themselves back into it. Mad. Crazy. West Brom.
2.
So you're ranking West Brom the same with Newcastle?
Yep.
I'm saying a 1. They haven't put on much fight. Only won 3 games.
Is that it?
Yeah, there's only won 3 matches.
They've only won 3 games?
Yeah. Sheffield United have won more matches.
What?
Yep.
Oh, no, that's a 1. That is an instant 1.
It's a 1, yeah. Sheffield United have won more matches. They've conceded the most goals in the Premier League. And then the second lowest scorers. It's only Sheffield United who have scored less.
So let's quickly move on because I've got some breaking news.
All right, go with the breaking news.
No, we've got
do Sheffield United. Okay, you lot continue to get, and if you joined the show late, And if you're showing the show late and you want to give your rating on one of the teams, let us know. Zayn saying, I'm giving Fulham a 6. They are shocking to me. The football they play is fire. No, they are shocking me. The football they play is fire. I wouldn't say fire, but I hear you. Zayn also says, Fulham and them man moving up. Yeah, shout outs to Fulham and them man. This might be the time Big Sam won't pull off a miracle. If he does that, it'll be the most shocking out of all of them. That is a fact, Zayn. I agree with you. Go on. Oh, yeah, Sheffield United we're going to go for.
1. Why are you here?
Yeah, I'm saying a 0.
You know what I was going to, but then I thought I've got to give him some.
I'm saying a 0. Like, no, they was relegated early. I'm saying a 0. But yeah, go on, family.
So,
breaking news.
Perfectly segue on to what teams will need next season. I can confirm that Aguero is 100%, and it's been confirmed, leaving Manchester City at the end of the season.
Let's go. Love that. Let's go.
And Manchester City have literally, as I've said it, just tweeted it, saying it's going to be emotional. Thank you for everything.
And the reason why I'm saying let's go is because as a Manchester United fan, I want Aguero to leave because I think he's a top
he's
quality
one
striker.
One of the best strikers I've seen in the Premier League.
He's one of the best strikers in Premier League history, arguably the best in the last decade.
Yeah, 100%.
From 2010 to 2020, I don't think and I include Harry Kane in that. His record in the Big Six is incredible. He scores all types of goals. He scores scruffy goals, right foot, left foot, scores headers. Problem. Stroh is screwing his face. Go on.
Oh, no. Something.
All right, saying different. Okay, no worries. And you lot continue to get the shares up as well. Continue. If you're watching via YouTube, hit the share button, please. And subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube. If you're watching on the Twitter or the Facebook if you're watching on the Twitter or the Facebook, please retweet the tweet, like the tweet, follow myself, Stroh, and from my Third Eye View Twitter. Same with Facebook. Share it. Share it to your store. Well, yeah, share it to your Facebook, please. I'm happy Aguero is leaving. Simply because that's a big gap for them to fill. Yes, they've run away with it.
Oh, like a huge gap.
It's a huge gap. Now they go again. Do they go and try and go get Haaland?
You have to.
Yes.
Because if you get a Haaland...
Oh, yeah, he does the business in that team.
Does that business. You've got him for the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, he does the business. And the amount of chances they create, field day.
But they're talking about getting Danny Ings.
Danny Ings is another one, though. Field day he would have in that team. I think any striker, similar to Tuchel when I mentioned Chelsea and I said any decent manager gets a tune out of these players. Any decent striker going there is going to score so many goals simply because of the amount Manchester City create. So Haaland, Danny Ings, even if you take a lesser striker, I don't rate, say for instance, a Lukaku, who I'm not a big fan of, scores loads of goals there.
Oh, yeah.
Simply because of the amount they create.
Which is why I'm so critical of Jesus.
Oh, yeah, this is why we're so critical of Jesus. How you play in that team and you're the lowest. You're the worst attacker they have.
Yeah, it's poor.
Yeah, it's shocking. It is shocking. All right, since we're on the topic of Manchester City, Aguero, breaking news, is reportedly leaving. Apart from a striker, what else do they need?
I think they need a proper defensive midfielder.
I was thinking that with the Fernandinho getting older, yes.
Because I don't think Rodri is the defensive midfielder that Fernandinho is. He's not as mobile. He's not as gritty. Now, I don't get me wrong, I like Rodri, but they can do with a much better defense.
They need a more destroyer. They need a more destructive.
They need a left back.
Yes, the left back.
They direly need a left back. Like, if I was Manchester City, I'd go get Digne.
That's a shout. That is a shout.
Imagine Digne under Pep.
Woo! Does bits.
Cancelo one side. Digne the other side.
Pep might be listening. Don't give him no ideas.
I'm just saying, if I'm him, I'm 100% going and getting Digne and out because you would get him for 40, 45 million. Everton are not turning that amount of money down for a left back. Come on.
No, they're not. But Ancelotti would probably go and get someone. But I agree with those: a striker, a holding midfielder, a left back. I would say they're the three. I look at
they're the three significant.
Not that they need them, but they're the ones. Okay, Manchester United.
Come on now. Defensive midfielder,
centre back, and a right winger.
And a right winger.
Yeah.
But you've needed them for 4 years, and we're still here.
Still here. United need a centre back, a defensive midfielder, a right winger. I would say. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Leicester City.
Striker.
What's a back of Vardy? And you don't rate Kelechi?
No, I do, but Vardy's getting on. So they need someone that can breathe in.
Yeah.
Take them to the next level. In terms of when Vardy goes, they're going to need someone that can step in.
Yeah.
I think they do need a centre back because Johnny Evans is getting old.
Fair point.
And realistically, they're going to need a centre midfielder because they're going to find it very hard to keep hold of Tielemans, to
And
keep hold of
Ndidi.
Maddison, to keep hold of Ndidi.
Do they need another 10?
Possibly.
Or maybe someone to go on that right wing, because you got Barnes who plays left.
Yeah, you need someone on the right wing.
And then Perez will play right hand side.
Yeah, you need someone on that
if
right
they're
wing.
looking to upgrade and go to that next level, which we're talking about.
So I'd say striker,
Yeah.
centre mid, right wing, centre back.
Okay. Centre back. Yeah, centre mid, number 10, right winger. I hear that. You lot can, again, in the comments, continue to get your thoughts in on this. Chelsea. Very interesting.
Goalkeeper.
You don't rate Mendy. How come you don't rate Mendy?
Right, so
let's go.
So my problem with Mendy is I'm super critical of. I analyze the game completely differently than most because I will look at it from. To be honest, I think me doing football coaching and managing and stuff like it's kind of ruined something for me when it comes to watching players because
you're highly critical. You'll spot things I will not spot. And that's the manager.
And I'll overly analyze stuff. Yeah. So I look at Mendy. He's not comfortable with the ball at his feet at all. Honestly, now that I've said it, watch Chelsea and watch him when he's got the ball at his feet.
Yeah,
he is not comfortable whatsoever.
Yeah.
If I'm Chelsea and I've got that amount of money, 100%. If I'm willing to spend 70 million on Kepa, I am willing to spend 120 million on Oblak. That is a game changer.
Yeah, Oblak is definitely a game changer, yes.
So I do think they need a keeper because I don't think Mendy's their keeper for the next 4 or 5 years. I just don't. I think right back, left back, they're covered. I do think they need a centre back because Thiago Silva is getting on and they get Christensen's hit and miss with his form. Rudiger's hit and miss with his form. Tomori's out on loan. They've got Sarr, but there's not an established centre back there that you can say is going to be their centre back for the next 5 years. Midfield, I think they're set. I do. I think they need a proper left winger because Pulisic is injury prone. And if Giroud goes, you're probably going to need a replacement centre, a striker. But for them, it's very fine tuning. Do you know what I mean? Apart from the goalkeeper and the centre back.
It is fine tuning. The goalkeeper, Mendy, I've seen him with the ball at his feet. He doesn't look the most comfortable, so I get your point with that. Depending on the way Tuchel's trying to go. Do they need a centre back?
Maybe not this season, but it's something they need to address in the next 1 or 2 years.
I'd say striker, definitely.
Yeah.
Do they need depending on, because it's tough because we don't know whether Tuchel's going with the back three because this is what he has, or if he's going to revert to a 4-3-3/4-2-3-1. As I'm saying, do they need? I don't think Havertz is the guy. I'm not gonna lie, maybe he gets better, but looking at him, I'm like, you don't seem like that 10 that they need. Ironically, Hazard.
Yeah.
If you put him in there, they need another creative player. Yes, they have Pulisic. Yes, they have Callum Hudson-Odoi, but I'm saying they need that next one to go in there with that striker.
I agree.
But I'd say striker, a creative player. That's what I would say. They're the two I would look at with Chelsea.
No, I agree.
And you're saying those two and a goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
West Ham. It's tough. When a team's overachieved and is doing much better than expected, it's tough to pinpoint where they should.
They need a striker because they can't rely on Antonio.
Okay.
For all the season, you can't carry everyone.
Yeah.
For me, I think the deal they have to do is they have to get Lingard on a permanent.
I was going to say, do they need even if they do sign Lingard, do they need another creative player to coincide with that? Or is Bowen good enough?
No, because I think Bowen's good enough. I
Right.
think...
we're saying a creative player.
I think Benrahma's good enough. I think Lanzini is good enough. They have to get Lingard.
Yeah.
Have to.
Lingard's amazing.
And then I'd look at a centre-back because Diop's hit and miss.
Mm.
Dawson, although I think he's been an excellent signing, he's getting old. So you can't really rely on that.
Yeah.
I definitely think they should go out and they should look at... And even midfield, like Noble's not a young buck, do you know what I mean? So...
Maybe you're looking there with your Suchek.
Yeah,
Centre-back was one that... And who's their fullbacks again? You've got Cresswell.
Got Cresswell and Soufal, and I think they're excellent.
Yeah. Maybe a centre-back. Maybe a centre-back I'm looking. Maybe another creative, even with Lingard, maybe another creative attacking player to go in there. Because then you got Lingard, Bowen, and then you're adding to it.
Because, I mean, like, they got rid of Haller and they didn't replace with a striker. Do you know what I mean? They need a striker,
Mm.
like badly.
I'm here looking. Let's look. Yeah, if you look at their players, like because you got Lingard, Tuchek, Benarama, Antonio, Rice, Bowen, Noble, who we mentioned, Yamalenko, Pablo Formals. Yeah, maybe I reckon in that department, striker and another creative player alongside a Lingard, I would say.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
a centre back as well. Maybe. Tottenham. I'd say a new manager. You know what I'm saying? Defo a new manager.
A centre back.
Oh, definitely. I think could argue 2 centre backs.
Yeah, you need a couple centre backs.
2 centre backs.
Because you
It'd
can't
be
be
2
playing
first 11
yeah,
centre
you
backs.
can't be playing Dyer there.
Yeah.
You just can't.
2 centre backs.
Right
Right back.
Yeah.
With who's it? Because they play Aurier out there.
Doherty, but Doherty's a wing back, so
Yeah.
it's like
Doherty, like the way that Spurs fans be going in on trash Doherty. That's what expressions calls him. So I'm saying, so we're saying 2 centre backs and a right back. Regulon if they can get him, if they can keep him, depending on if he goes back to Madrid.
I'm just looking and I'm just thinking. I think Højbjerg's been an unbelievable signing. I touched
Højbjerg's
upon
been
that
very
earlier.
good. I would say a right winger.
And a striker because I don't finish is only on loan.
Right winger. Yeah.
And obviously Bale's going back on loan.
Yes.
So they need a right winger and a
A
striker.
right winger and a striker. That's a lot of players.
Yeah.
You just said 2 centre backs, a right back, a right winger, and a striker.
It's 5.
That's 5. And the right winger, the 2 centre backs, and the right back are all first. So you're saying 4 first teamers?
Yep.
That's crazy to think 4 first teamers. Big up Zane, who says, big up the lads. Big up the lads, strong, flawless. Loved how we went through every Premier League team. Yeah, man. Big up Zane. You lot continue to get the likes up also. Enough likes on the Facebook as well. Thank you for that. Love to everyone who's locked in. Big up. Next team. Stroll's got a yellow tie for those that can't see. He's got a yellow tie on. He's doing, what's the guy's name again?
Jim White.
Jim White,
Sky
that was
Sports,
his name.
yellow tie.
Liverpool. Take it away, because I know you've been waiting for this.
So I woke up this morning, sun was shining, making a bacon bagel. At about 8:20, I decided to go on Twitter just to scroll down before I decided to get myself out of bed. And out of nowhere, I see a tweet from David Ornstein from The Athletic. Now, David Ornstein and The Athletic. Now, what rung true with it was the fact that the likes of James Pearce retweeted it, which is the Liverpool fans that know James Pearce, Paul
It's the guy.
Joyce, and David Lynch are the guys you go to for Liverpool news. So, and it basically had Liverpool in it, so I was like, oh, let me just see this for a second. And out of nowhere, Liverpool working to finalise deal for Ibrahima Konate from RB Leipzig. Not done yet, significant progress made. Pursuit of the 21 French centre-back, now in advanced. Likely his 40 million release clause will need paying. So that shocks me. And let's just break it down for a second. This man is 21 years old.
Yeah.
40 million release clause, which works out about 35, 36 million for a centre-back you can have for the next 10 years.
Crazy.
Yes, he has had some injury problems, which I'm not going to overlook. Do you know what I mean? When I seen it, it did worry me a bit, but then I remember Liverpool's medical department, and then I look at Oxlade-Chamberlain, for example. Oxlade-Chamberlain was injury-prone at Arsenal.
True.
You've not seen him have that amount of injuries with Liverpool. He had the big injury with Roma, which set him back, and then he's had a few niggling injuries off the back of that. Before that, Oxlade-Chamberlain was absolutely fine. So we have the medical department to deal with it. This man is 6'4". He was ranked the 3rd quickest centre-back in Europe last season. I can't remember who did it. I was reading this morning.
Just asking our interest, but yeah, go on.
That suits Liverpool's high line. He is perfect for us. He is a monster. He's won more aerial duels than Upamecano this season. He's won more defensive duels than Upamecano this season. I'm over the moon that Liverpool are going down this avenue and they're getting it done early.
Yeah.
So we needed a centre-back significantly.
You think you needed 1 or 2?
No, I think we'll get to. I think we'll keep Kabak as well.
Yeah. Oh, man, like Virgil van Kabak.
I mean, the thing is, he's coming to the Premier League. He's unproven. He's never played in the Premier League. He's still young. He's not got an experienced centre-back with him. Him and Phillips are learning on the job. 3 clean sheets in a row.
Fair enough. So you're
Champions League as well. 3 clean sheets in a row. So
give him his props.
And he's only going to cost us 20 million. So we can get both of them, 2 young centre-backs for 50 million. that's a steal. That it's it's a no-brainer to me. We need a striker. We need a proper striker. If Haaland's available and we're not in the market for him, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to sit here and be disappointed because we need a striker. We do. And out of nowhere, last week there's talks that Barcelona want to just give us Coutinho back because they still owe us 35 million for Coutinho. I'd take that. Squad depth. Bring Coutinho on off the bench. Is that not... He could change the game. I'm not saying it will happen. It probably won't happen, but we need a... Centre midfield was set. Curtis Jones' emergence this season has been excellent, and his progression has been good to see. Nat Phillips, I think, has come into his own, so I think he'll stay around. We need a right back for Trent, just to give him some cover in terms of to rest him. Because as much as I like Nico Williams, I just don't think that there's games where we could rest Trent that we're going to be able to. And obviously, we're going to have to get a centre midfielder because Wijnaldum's leaving. So I'd go and get a Basuma.
All right. So you're saying 2 centre backs,
which looks like it's done already.
Yeah. There's a centre mid.
Yep.
Who else? Like holding mid or an attacking mid?
Just a Wijnaldum role. So
Wijnaldum, yeah. So yeah, I get your point. So workman like midfielder, so to speak. So 2 centre backs, a centre mid. Anything else?
Striker. 1,000,000% striker. Like we need
1 striker or 2.
Get me 5.
Get you 5. Just anybody bar for me. What about wide players? I think usually wide players.
Nah, we've got Jota.
Yeah, so I'd say 1 to add to that. So then you can pick from. Imagine your options are Mane, Salah, Jota, and somebody else.
Yeah, but I think in the summer, I don't think that's a necessity. I think there's more things that need
so you're
addressing
saying
at this point.
2 centre backs, midfielder, striker. So that's 4.
Yeah, I'm happy
Fair
with that.
enough. Okay, fair enough. I would agree. I would also add, I'd say a 5, I'd add a winger on that just to replace, also not your first 11, but Shaqiri. Just go and get an upgrade on him. Like,
yeah. Makes sense.
Maybe not a Rafinha, but someone like that. I don't think Rafinha's going to come and stay on the bench.
Take that back. 5. I want Rafinha. I want this kid so much.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine they're your options. Your 4 options are Mane, Salah, Jota, Rafinha. That's incredible.
I won't, honestly. Like,
that's incredible.
I would not. But if Liverpool pay 50 million, I would not care.
It's a bit Football Manager-esque, but yeah.
I want this guy so bad.
It's a bit Football Manager-esque, but yeah. Therefore, next, Everton. Very interesting.
I wonder where I'm going to start.
I know.
The goalkeeper.
I know you rate the goalkeeper highly, fam, but carry on.
They need a goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, definitely. Go on, keep going.
Because if they get a goalkeeper, they can build for the next 5 years. They need a centre-back. I don't think Mina's it. I don't think Keane's it. Godfrey is. You need a centre-back to partner Godfrey for the next 5-6 years. Because this is... Everton can really start to cause some damage if they have a proper spine, right? Calvert-Lewin is the head of the spine, yeah? You've then got Allen and players like that behind him. So Allen, you've then got Decore, who's a good, solid midfielder. James is an unbelievable signing. So there's the front 2, right? If you sort the spine with the goalkeeper and another centre-back to partner Godfrey, you have got your goalkeeper and 2 centre-backs for the next 5-6 years. They need a goalkeeper, they need a centre-back. I think they need a winger. Wolby's not it. It's just not. I think at some point they are going to have to start looking at a right back because Coleman's getting on.
Yeah.
But Digne on the other side is a phenomenal.
So yeah, goalkeeper I agree with. The centre-backs I think.
Just 1.
Yeah.
Just to put next to Godfrey.
I would say depending on if you want to play a back 3, back 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, goalkeeper, centre-back.
I think they need a striker to partner.
Striker, definitely a winger. Yeah. Maybe 2 wingers to be honest.
Maybe 2. So yeah.
Because you got a Wolby, Bernard.
It'll be interesting to see what name he produces out of his black book. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. That's what that is. Gonna be a Mazza, 1,000,000%. Next, Arsenal. And Zayn already said, lads, he said, take this. This ain't career mode. Let's take it 10 steps down. That's something our fan base would say. Shameless FC. Nah, but here's the thing. We just give it what we think they need, not what they'll get.
So this.
Oh yeah, Zayn's also saying, Stroll, would you take RR from Leon?
All day. All day, every day. Now, this is what Arsenal need.
He's saying, like for us, we got Sausage Saliba. The future is bright. Only said that joke since Flawless cracks up at that name, but his potential is scary. So I'm excited by him. We all know he's a baller.
Right.
Hear your point, but yeah, go on. What do you think Arsenal need?
They need a right back.
Definitely.
They need a centre back.
Definitely.
They need another midfielder.
Definitely.
They need a winger.
Definitely.
And I genuinely think that they need an attacking midfielder because if Odegaard goes, there's no Ozil anymore.
Who is there if Odegaard? Because they'll push Saka inside.
Don't get wrong. You can play Smith Rowe, but he's still young and he's still developing. Do you know what I mean? And for me, I think they need a striker. Aubameyang's getting old and he's not been the same player this season. Lacazette, you've completely ruined him. They need 7 or 8 players, and that's scary because you're not going to be able to do that in a window. They've not got the Chelsea funds. The Arsenal are in trouble, you know. Like when you really deep it, and the fact that you then got Kroenke, who's spending £5 billion on the Sophie Stadium in LA because he cares more about the LA Rams than he does Arsenal. Like, he's wild. Arsenal need a serious overhaul, but you're not going to be able to do that in one window. But areas that they definitely need to address. They need a right back,
definitely,
and they 100% need a centre back because you can maneuver your way through certain games if you have a solid back five. So, yeah, that's what I think Arsenal need.
Now, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%, that's what they need. But like I said, Zane, we're not saying that this is what they will get. We're saying what they need to get. Like I said, I agree. Right back, yes. Centre back, yes. Mm-hmm. A midfielder to go in there with, whether it's a deep line playmaker or another holder next to Partey, because he seems to be injury prone, yes. Another 10, yes. Striker, yeah. Wide player. Who there? Wide players? You got Saka, you got Pepe. I suppose you got Martinelli, so you're all right and wide players, actually. But I'd say, yeah, definitely a striker, because you've only got
Aubameyang. He's not a wide player, because if one of them gets injured, you've got 2.
Because you got Saka, you got Martinelli, you got Pepe.
One of them gets injured.
Who else you got? Surely Arsenal have another wide player.
Oh, Willian.
There you go. They got Willian in that. 4.
Right, yeah.
Arsenal need a lot, is what we're saying. They need a lot. Villa. What are you saying?
They need a midfielder because Barkley's on loan.
Yes.
Keeper, they're set.
Okay.
They are so set. It's beyond a joke. I think they need a left back. As much as I like Target, I just don't think he's at the level where Villa are aspiring to be in terms of Europa League and stuff like that. I like the centre-back partnership. I love Konsa and I love Tyrone Mings. I think they are phenomenal.
I'm not a big fan of Tyrone Mings like that.
What?
Konzi, yeah. Mings. I don't know.
No, I'm talking about them as a partnership.
Okay,
I think they complement each other so well.
Right.
They need a centre midfielder. I think they need another winger. I think Traore has done well. Trezeguet isn't the guy that everyone hyped him up to be. Mm. And listen, it's tougher for players when you move to the Premier League in terms of adapting to the quickness of it and adapting to the physicality. And you can just tell that he's not built for the Premier League. So I think they need another winger and a striker to back up Watkins.
I hear that. Pretty much what you said, I can't really disagree with. Because it's like their first team is pretty much set. It's more just backing that up. And like you said, the Barkley one as well. You're like this one, Leeds United.
Right. So I was super, super critical of Meslier.
Okay.
And Leeds United going into the season with Meslier. Mm. Because he was young. He just looked like he would get bullied. I will happily hold my hands up and say I was wrong. I think keeper-wise, they're set. I think they might need another centre-back. Right back, they're set with Ayling. Left back, Alioski, you could argue, might need a left back, but you've got Dallas who can fill in there, so there's no issues with me there whatsoever. I think they need a centre midfielder. Mm. They need an attacking midfielder because Pablo Hernandez is getting on. Wingers, they are set. Let me make that clear. They are set for wingers. You've got Helder Costa, Poveda, who is a handful on his day. You've then got Rafinha and Jack Harrison, who is joining them on a permanent because they've got an agreement to buy at the end of the season. And then you've got Rodrigo Bamford. I think if you add another striker into that mix, it gets interesting for Leeds. But yeah, they definitely need an attacking midfielder, 100%.
So you're saying an attacking midfielder is the one.
Yeah.
Anywhere else where you'd be like, they need to?
I'd probably say centre back.
Yeah, they defense. Yeah, definitely. Not a holding midfielder though. Actual destroyer.
No, because they've got that in Phillips. He's not.
Yeah, he's more of a. He reminds me. Obviously, you watch Leeds much more closely than I do. More of a deep lying playmaker rather than a Fernandinho type.
Nah, he is a monster in there.
Yeah, I don't get that. But I suppose because he's just good on the ball.
No. Yeah. But it's not just that. So Leeds play with Phillips and then the double pivot in front of him. And this is what I'm saying. If he had, yeah, you could probably argue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, he gives me vibes of let me get on the ball and dictate attacks, dictate the tempo of the game. He reminds me more of a Xavi Alonso than he would a Fernandinho.
He's very good at breaking play.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's good, but I'm saying they might need a. If you put a Thomas Partey in,
if you had a Højbjerg next to him, that's
my point.
Yeah.
He's gonna go and do more of the attacking stuff, and Højbjerg's gonna do the dirty work type of thing.
Yeah,
I hear that. Crystal Palace.
Need
a striker, definitely.
Yeah, you took the words out.
Yeah, they definitely need a striker.
They need a centre back because Dan's getting on.
Yeah.
The centre backs are getting on. I like the full backs. I like Van Aanholt.
I do like Van. I can't pronounce his name, but I do like Patrick.
I like Van Aanholt a lot. They need a centre midfielder because you can't have McCarthy, Miljevic, like they're getting on.
Just having a look here at their squad. So you're talking midfielders. Obviously, they got Eze. You got Townsend, Mahajovic, Kouyaté, Ferguson, McCarthy. Like I said, Tompkins as well, getting on a bit. McCarthy. Yeah, they need to go again. Definitely a striker when I'm looking at that. Strikers.
They need a striker.
Definitely.
Significantly.
I would say a centre mid. And you could argue a centre back as well.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Here's interesting. Wolves.
Need a striker?
Yeah, because of what's happened with Jimenez.
Because of what's happened with Jimenez, you see the
terrible
difference
injury,
when he's not in the team.
Jimenez, definitely.
They need a centre back.
Well, you don't rate that because you got Connor Cody, you got Bowley.
Bowley's getting on.
How old is Bowley? Let's find out. Bowley is 30. Fair point.
They need a centre midfielder because Moutinho, I don't think he's going to do another 2 seasons in the Premier League. They need someone that can partner Neves.
So you're saying a striker, central midfielder,
basically the spine,
centre back. So you're saying the spine, like we were talking about with Wolves going again.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fair enough. Southampton.
Need a centre midfielder.
Yeah, I was thinking that in that area because you got Ward-Prowse, you've got
Romeu.
Yeah, it's not really the best in there, is it?
No, you need a centre midfielder.
Yeah.
You need a...
I say a wide player as well.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You need a right winger because you've got Redmond on one side. The right wing is just, at times, it's non-existent.
That's why they signed Minamino. That's why they brought him in, innit? That Garage MC.
No, he's not a right winger.
True say. He's not a right winger, but...
They need a striker.
I'm sure he's played... Is he not played out there, though? Or is he playing the 10? Yeah, I'm sure he's
playing in the 10.
Okay.
They need a right winger.
Right winger,
they need a striker.
Midfielder. Striker to back up Ings.
Yeah.
And in case Ings get injured, it doesn't...
I mean, don't get me wrong, they got Adams, but it's like...
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. And they got Shane Long as well.
Yeah, you need a striker.
Yeah, you need a striker. Yeah, they got is Shane Long Irish?
Yep.
Yeah, man, they got the Irish Gabby Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Got the Irish Gabriel Jesus. That's what Shane Long is. Your favorite team, your second favorite team in the country, Burnley.
They need relegating.
Oh,
I'll let you take this one away because...
All right, I'll take the Burnley one away at it because Stroll just wants to hate on my guy, Sean Dyche.
Nah, because let's be honest. Burnley have got an unbelievable, who I think should be the number 1 England goalkeeper, Nick Pope.
Okay.
They've got Dwight McNeil.
Yeah.
They've got Chris Wood, who will score your goals.
Yeah.
They've got Ashley Barnes, who will score your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everything bar that needs changing.
I think they just need some pace. Like your friend said it. So for those who don't know, we was Stroll's boy come and pick us up after one of the shows we did. And he said he was a Burnley fan. And he said City were playing Burnley. And
on the counter attack,
City had a corner. And the commentator said City need to be careful. Need to be careful and make sure they leave men back so Burnley don't hit them on the counter attack. And then this is a Burnley fan saying this. He was like, why did the commentator say that? who have we got that is quick enough to be on any counter attack? He said Dwight McNeil, and that's it. He was like, no one else is able to keep up with him. So what I will say is they definitely need a wide player.
They need wide players.
They need 2 wide players, quick, tricky wide players to then go in there with McNeil.
I think they need an attacking midfielder.
Yes, they need an attacking midfielder. I'd say a striker as well, just to offer something different.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like someone that will happy to run in behind.
Yeah,
and
something
stretch the
different.
play.
I would say. Maybe something different in centre mid.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. No, I'm saying central, but I'm talking the 10.
As well.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying the centre mid. So we're saying 2 wide players, a striker, central midfielder, attacking midfielder, saying 5.
Because I mean, if you look at them,
because defensively they're fairly solid.
Yeah, but if you look at their midfield options, they've got Westwood, they've got Proper, they've got Cork. I think he's still there. The midfield option, centre midfield, it just isn't great, and I think that's why they struggle a lot in some games. So yeah, that's what I'd say for them anyway.
All right, that's cool. That can work. Next, your guy Graham Potter, Brian.
I think right back the set, in defence the set. I think Ben White is an unbelievable prospect. I like the goalkeeper a lot. Centre midfield is where they need it. They need another centre midfielder. I don't think they're going to keep hold of Basuma this summer. I honestly don't. They need a winger, like a proper out-and-out winger. Trossard's good. Solly March is good, but they're not world beaters. And striker.
Striker, definitely. Did you say a wide player?
Yeah.
Striker, maybe a 10. It's amazing how we get further down the league and we're talking offensive.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say that. Brian, Newcastle. What are you saying? A whole new team, whole manager? What are you telling me?
Who?
Newcastle. Look at Ryan says just in time for Graziano Potterino. This guy. And it is Newcastle.
Right. So they need
everything. Everything. Is that what you're about to say?
They need a right back.
Okay.
They need a left back.
Mm-hmm.
They need a centre midfielder.
Yeah.
They need an attacking midfielder.
Right back, left back, centre midfielder, attacking midfielder.
They need a right winger because
right winger, that's 5. Just 5.
They've got obviously Gucci Mane on the left.
Yeah, Gucci Mane's gold. Yeah.
And you need a striker because when Callum Wilson's not there, the striking options are non-existent. So
you need a strike. You said a left back, a right back, a centre mid, an attacking mid, a right winger, and a striker.
Yeah.
I actually agree with all them.
So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, because they just need something new. I'm saying they got Longstaff and John Joe Shelby in that. They need something new. Definitely. Fulham.
Right, this is where it gets interesting because I like their transfer business.
Okay.
But a number of them are on loan. They need a winger because Lookman's on loan. They direly need a winger. They need a centre midfielder because once again, Loftus-Cheek's on loan. Anthony Robertson at left back, I quite like. The right back they have, I actually quite like. Defensively, I quite like that Anderson. They need a goalkeeper because Areola's on loan. I would do everything to try and keep him because how he's at Fulham is beyond me. I've seen this man at Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain for crying out loud. He should not be at Fulham. They need a striker.
Who was at Fulham? Who was that?
Areola.
Mad.
The goalkeeper.
I mean, he was at PSG, sorry.
Yeah, he's the PSG. He was the PSG goalkeeper the other year until they got Navas in.
Mad.
But he also went on loan to Real Madrid to help fill the gap as well.
Mad. Oh yeah, he did.
So it's like you've gone from that is a fall from grace.
Yeah, that is.
Which is crazy for me because he's played at Villarreal. He's like I said, Real Madrid on loan. Like you've gone from Real Madrid on loan to Fulham on loan.
When you put it like that, yeah.
But it's like just for him to have that kind of experience, and he's 28. As a goalkeeper, you're about to hit your prime, and I think he's a coup for them. I'd do everything to try and keep him. So I'd say the goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, yeah.
Centre mid.
I think they need a centre back.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah. Goalkeeper. Sorry, I was starting from the back of the team, but yeah, goalkeeper, centre back. Did you say in any fullbacks?
Nah, I like the fullbacks.
All right,
Centre mid.
Centre back, centre mid, anyone
Winger.
else,
and a striker.
and a striker. The wide players are decent. That's being said, when I've watched
Yeah,
them
no,
play, I
no,
remember
yeah,
specifically against
but-
Spurs, they
but
look
a
good
few
going
of them on
forward.
loan.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Next, a few of them are on loan. Like Lookman's on loan.
Yeah.
So-
They definitely need a striker, though.
Yeah.
Most teams, I think we said that pretty much for every team in the bottom half.
Mhm.
Striker. West Brom.
I don't care. They're going into the
Yeah,
championship.
the whole new team for West Brom. Whole new team. Sheffield United again.
Whole new team.
Pretty much whole new team. So that is that. Continue to get your thoughts in. Continue to like the video from a third eye view on Pi Radio.
So-
Last 15 minutes, we're closing out. Go on, Stro. Take it away.
We sat here last week and
Yeah.
we talked about a certain Gareth Southgate and what
Yeah,
he
man.
would
Your guy Gareth, let's go.
and what he would play in certain games. And I have an issue with the 2 games that England have played so far.
Get it off your chest.
We'll go to the first game.
Hmm.
That should have been double digits.
When you're playing the team ranked worst in the world, yes, it should be double digits.
Honestly, it was embarrassing at times. Like the missed chances, just everything. It just wasn't good enough. The substitutions were awful at times. Timing of the substitutions were awful at times. But it's a convincing 5-0 win, so you can't really complain.
Hmm.
However, the second game is where I have major issues.
Go on.
Why are you playing 2 holding midfielders against that team?
Against Albania.
Why? What? Like, are you honestly not confident enough? You have to play 2 holding midfielders against that team. You could play Phillips by himself, and we would have been fine.
Yeah, you don't even need one DM, to be honest.
That's my point. It's just the deficiencies and just the lack of. And it's like I watched that game and I'm just gonna Maguire. I don't see how we should be anywhere near that England team at this point.
Right.
I can't.
What
see
is it? You see this frustration. You know what? Someone made a great comparison. You see the frustration England fans have with Ollie is the same. England fans have with Southgate is the same issue. Some United fans have with Ollie. Playing 2 DMs.
No, but I get that.
Yeah, I know you fully understand it, but I'm just saying that's the it's a great comparison. Why are you playing 2 DMs away to Albania? Who did he play? It was Phillips and I didn't watch the game. It was
Rice.
Phillips and Rice. Why are you playing Phillips and Rice? Why are you playing? To me, you don't need a DM against Albania. You could literally go with the kamikaze thing I was talking about. Yes, Grealish, but why not play Foden, Mount, and
See, this is
somebody else?
If they'd have played, I think Phillips should be ahead of
Yeah.
Rice. I'm just going to be honest.
Okay, so say you play Phillips, Foden, and Mount.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I hear that. You could play Phillips, Foden, and Mount, and just say
Because then they can just press on.
Yeah.
And you know what the thing? What I didn't like, Lingard had the game of his life. Why is he not starting the next game?
spot.
How are you going to let the man have a man of the match performance, and then leave him on the bench?
Because it was San Marino, that's what it is.
And yet, the man's got the nerve to talk about why he didn't pick Trent because he's out of form. But yet you're picking players that haven't played because they were on betting bans and are clearly out of form. Kyle Walker is the most out of form player, and then you're leaving Wan-Bissaka, who's the best defensive right back in the entire league, with a 11.5% dribble pass rate, and he's nowhere to be seen. It just doesn't make any sense to me. The selection of that team bothered me. Kyle Walker, and you played him right back. Why is Kyle Walker right back?
When you have obviously
When you've got Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka, you got Trent. Here's the thing though, because we talked about games. I wouldn't play, even if I'd have Wan-Bissaka in the squad, I wouldn't play him in them games. The Poland game maybe is more so.
No, I get, but once again, he's playing Kane. Why are you playing Harry Kane and Sterling in that game? You don't need Harry Kane and Sterling in that game.
Yeah, you could mix it up and play.
We literally said he would play Kane and Sterling in one of the 2 games, and lo and behold, Sterling played in both.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You don't need it.
You got a point.
We're playing against the statistically worst team in the world.
I think your
I
team,
know we need Raheem. No, you
Sterling.
don't.
You don't need a minute. I think, like I said, legit. I said this on one of the live streams when I was with Aaron yesterday, that we could put a team together at the Mandem and probably beat San Marino.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Erbston Town, I think your team beat San Marino. I think you lot give England a better game than San Marino did. That being said, on a side note of that, love to everyone who is looking forward to going back and playing Saturday or Sunday league, including myself. I know Stroll's looking forward to going back to managing.
Yep.
When are you back?
We've been back.
Oh, you've been back already? You've been training?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, was I not supposed to reveal that? You
Oh, no, I shouldn't have said that, but
right.
it is what it is. Yeah,
You
we've
hearing
been
it.
back doing fitness.
Yeah, man. They've been social distancing, though. You know what I'm saying? They've been following precautions and all protocols.
So, basically, our league decided to, for the second season in a row where the league is in our hands and we're in a position where we can win the league, to null and void it. And this season it's been replaced with a cup competition. So the way they do the cup competitions is you and the team above you and the league above you is who the cup competition is. So it's split into 4 different, because there's 8 different leagues in ours. So there's us and the league above. And basically it's a group competition, so 4 groups. And we've been drew with a couple teams in the league above, which is fine. But basically we've got a friendly which the league have arranged for us on Saturday, and then our cup competition starts on the 10th of April. I've got to submit my squad for the cup within the next few days, but I just can't wait to be back. Like, this is a massive opportunity for us because obviously we've just moved over. Although we've been playing as a team for 5-6 years, it's a new club for us. It's a new everything, and what a way to start the first season. We were favourites to win the league. We were unbeaten all pre-season, as you've seen. We were unbeaten all into the league at this point. So it's going to be a test, but it's one I'm looking forward to, and I'm just happy to be back. And I'm just happy to step on the sideline of a pitch again and scream at people.
Yeah, I've been there. I've seen Stro. You know what I'm saying? When he has been. Sorry, 1 sec. Yeah, I've seen Stro when he's been managing and that, and just shouting and screaming and that. Them intense team talks and that. Hella intense team talks. But yeah, back to the England. We know that Gareth Southgate's not the man. Who would you have? Somebody mentioned it. Someone said Arsene Wenger. I think that is a great shout.
Arsene Wenger?
I think Arsene Wenger is a phenomenal option.
I'd look at a few different managers. So Graham Potter would be one of them. I would also, because he doesn't stay at club teams very long, I'd go and try and get a Bielsa.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who you could potentially go and get. I think that's probably it. Like, there's not many people out there. Like, I'd love to see Eddie Howe because I just love his philosophy to football. I love his approach to how he tries to. And I remember Bournemouth released a video last season of him in pre-season, and his attention to detail is outstanding. And I just think that he deserved the bigger job when he got offered it, and he should have just left and took it. And it's disappointing to see where his career's gone now. But I think there's not really many managers out there which scream international football. Do you know what I mean? So it's a tough one, but I think, I'd definitely say Graham Potter or someone like a Bielsa.
You're Ryan about to talk the most stuff. Bielsa's a good shout because he would leave Leeds for it.
Yeah, but not just that. He doesn't stay at club teams very long, 2-3 seasons max. I think this is probably the longest he's stayed at any club in Leeds, which says everything about Leeds. And they're about to get a significant amount of money to spend as well with the San Francisco funding. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I'm just, with England, you watch Sterling and he's a shell of himself. The amount of missed opportunities, it's criminal. Kane, it's just like non-existent in terms of his awareness of what's around him. You see him you see him at Tottenham. He's a completely different player in terms of you will see him pass to Son.
Yeah.
How many times is he in a position where you can shoot or pass, but passing is the right option? I mean, crying out loud, look at the Croatia World Cup semi-final.
Was he offside for that?
No,
he was actually onside.
Yeah, he was onside.
Mad, because people use that. That's one of them pictures that will forever, like in 20 years' time, we'll still be talking about it.
Oh yeah,
it's one of those.
I hope his grandkids talk about that and ask him why.
I think his great grandkids will be talking about that. I think when we're here in 20 years' time, I'm from a Third Eye View and we've blown up and we're all thousandaires and that. And Pi Radio is one of the biggest stations worldwide. And I don't know, we have Pi Radio, I don't know, South Africa or something like that, because we're going to all corners of the globe. I'd say Pi Radio Europe, Pi Radio America, Pi Radio South America, Pi Radio Caribbean, Pi Radio Africa. Have I missed any of their continents? Pi Radio Australia. You get my point. When we're doing that, we'll still be talking about that moment. It's one of those that will live on. Like me and Aaron was talking about, like iconic YouTube moments and how certain things will live on forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we was talking about, like that. When's it gonna end, Robbie? That type of stuff. Yeah. We was bossing up in it. There's so many iconic moments. Yo, love to everybody who has locked in, man. Like, we really, really appreciate it. Anything you want to say in it about your guy Gareth and he's coming home, England Euros, yeah? Are you telling me?
I hope he goes home.
England winning the World Cup.
England are not winning anything under Gareth Southgate. Let me just make that clear. His team selection is awful at times. I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, I like the fact that he included Watkins because it boosted my ego because I was right. But when you put Watkins and Bamford next to each other, Watkins should be nowhere near. It's Bamford all day.
Bamford, yeah, it is.
And it just doesn't make any sense to me, the fact that he wasn't selected. And then you don't select Wan-Bissaka or Trent, who are the two statistically best right backs in the league. Alien's got better stats than Reece James, statistically. Defensively, what are we doing here?
I hear you. I get your point. Love to everybody who has locked in. We will be back next week because Premier League football's back on the weekend. So Premier League, Prime says it's strong, flawless. Respect Gareth Southgate. What a surprise that Prime is a fan of Gareth Southgate.
Oh,
that is not a shot. Hey, Prime,
go away.
If Tuchel, when Lampard was sacked, would you have took Southgate? Please let me know on another stream. But love to everybody who has locked in. This is from a Third Eye View. Like I said, Premier League football is back. Finally, I've missed it. It's back on the weekend. Arsenal, Liverpool, United, Brighton, City, Leicester. Big games. Premier League is back. I'm saying, yeah, see, even Zayn saying it, only Prime would say this, but love to Prime every time. Stroll's telling him to go away. You lot get the likes up. Whether you're watching this live right now, you're watching this back, please on the YouTube, get the likes up on the video, share it, and subscribe to Pi Radio. We're back next Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. discussing all the Premier League results. And it's been hosted by Stroll, a.k.a. Stato, a.k.a. Mr. I've seen more in the night than you've seen in your life. And myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. Thank you very much for tuning in.